What's going on, you guys? Slim here today with a new video, and you guys, we already did the top 5 meta decks. You already know what's next. We got to do the top 5 rogue decks for this May 2021 format. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links in the description. While you're down there, consider joining my Discord community. If you want to purchase any of the cards to build and play any of the decks I talk about in today's video, or just cards in general, please use my TCG player link as well as my Gem Accessories affiliate link, as a portion of what you spend on either of those sites will go back to the channel. It helps me out. I really appreciate it. Last but not least, if you further want to support me in the channel and the content that I produce, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button, or becoming one of my Patreons. With all the usual spiel out of the way, you guys, rogue decks. I mean, you don't have to play meta to win. These decks I've seen popping up left and right at different tournaments. It's hard to always kind of bring it down to 5. I like to do that just to keep the videos pretty concise. But I noticed things change over time. Decks that were rogue are now meta, etc, etc. But I decided to kind of just compile this list of decks that I've seen that are considered rogue. You can argue and say that maybe they are meta. It's hard to say. I know people are going to be looking for Virtual World, they're going to be looking for stuff like that. I actually consider those decks meta. They're just not in the top 5. Same thing with Dinosaur. I wouldn't put Dinosaur as rogue. They're still meta. They're just, the representation in different areas just varies. So anyways, with all that out of the way, I'm going to start with number 5. I got the Earth Machine Infinitrack deck, whatever you want to call it. I played against this deck multiple times. The deck is very cool with what it does. I've heard people say, even players that pilot it, that it has consistency issues, that it's kind of like any other Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Sometimes it really works, sometimes it doesn't. I know my boy Yishan piloted it at the Invitational. The deck looked really cool. What the deck can do, anything with the Machina cards is awesome. I'm still trying to figure out, is it Machina or Machina? I really don't know. Super back in the day, I used to just call it Machina, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've been wrong all these years, but anyways, I think the Machine deck is really cool. I like what it can do, and I just want to see more representation for it. Any of these decks that just pop up out of nowhere and have success by one player, I want to see more and more players pick them up and try them out, because I think the deck is awesome. I know the cards has been starting to go up, so hopefully you guys do pick it up before they really just get out of control, but it's awesome to see a deck like that actually have success and give us something new to talk about other than the usual suspects that we see, like Dragon Link, stuff like that. Rogue needs some cool decks, and that's definitely a deck that I hope that more people will pick up and try out, and hopefully we'll have more success in the format. Coming in at number 4, you guys, the rest of these are usually always on the list, but this one, of course, is Phantom Knights, Burning Abyss, whatever you want to call it. I always put them together just because sometimes they just compile together, sometimes they're their own separate entity. It just really depends on who's piloting it and what they chose to do with the deck. Now, I think Phantom Knights have more representation in other parts of the world. It's really hard to say. I have played against them at locals. I have seen them, top some tournaments here and there. I know there are certain players that just always play the deck. The deck plays Dragoon. The deck can, just set up these pretty crazy boards. If you break the board, they do struggle, but, the deck is pretty strong, and I want to see, more so, again, what players are doing with it. Are they going to be a route to add more consistency for, the rank 3s and stuff like that? Are they focusing more on the Phantom Knights for, Fog Blades and Negates, etc.? Are they going Dragoon based? Are they doing, what are they doing exactly to get to their end board? I think the deck is very cool, though. I do like Phantom Knights a lot. I have a lot of respect for that deck, because having played against it, even in the extravaganzas, and seeing the boards that they produce, it's very, very impressive. If you can't stop them, it's crazy. If they play through your hand traps, it's crazy. I just want to see more people playing it and see, what the deck will do, and continue to do. It is having minor success. I want it to have some more major success. So hopefully in time we'll see more representation of that deck, and we'll see it, just probably do better at other events, whether it's the, everything is online, of course, whether it's on the luxury side of things with the online DB tournaments, or it's the remote duels, extravaganzas, locals, invitationals. I just want to see what the deck can do going forward. Excuse me. Coming in at number 3, I've got Unchained, the Pennywise deck, the Everything Floats deck. You guys already know. Everyone likes that joke. It already knows. Pennywise is my uncle, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know. Born on Halloween, so of course that's Uncle Pennywise right there. But all jokes aside, Unchained, I really like this deck. I don't know what it is about it. I told myself I still need to pick it up, and I'm slacking on that, so I definitely need to do that. I don't know what it is about the deck being all floaters that really attracted me to it. I think it's also the fact that you can link on your opponent's turn. The fact that it's so annoying to actually play against. Its toolbox is crazy. My boy Gage has played it against me multiple times, and then watching Coder play it, Barracks Bear, the few players that actually play it, and then seeing that it's actually had success at the extravaganzas, maining D-Shifter, is just crazy to me. Because, obviously I didn't read enough about the cards, and then when I did, I was like, oh, it works under Shifter. I mean, who knew? Honestly, Shifter is crazy. crazy in that deck. And I think Robbie mentioned it too, that the same player has had back-to-back success with it at Extravaganza. Maybe not making it into the top 8, but I think making it in the top 16, which is awesome. So I definitely think that deck will continue to, you know, again, if more players pick it up, it'll do a lot of things. I just really like the way the deck functions. Like, it's just so cool. Like, you know, just being able to link away your opponent's monsters is ridiculous. Like, what? Like, it doesn't matter what they have on board, you just link them away. Like, that's just so crazy to me. And I just hope that more players, including myself, are going to pick that deck up and learn it and really just, you know, take it for a spin and see what it can do in the format. Again, it may not be the most consistent deck, it may not be the best deck, but these rogue decks can definitely compete against the meta, so that's why I really like Unchained. Coming in at number 2, shout out to Brian Chen, you already know. Sky Strikers, I got you. I got you. I got you. Because if I ever forget Sky Strikers, I don't think that man will ever let me live it down. All jokes aside, though, I think Sky Strikers is just, I mean, that deck just keeps on doing something. It keeps coming back. It keeps finding ways to be played. You know, my boy Brian Chen has had success with it. I know Bill Way has had success with it. Even though he played Dragon Link at the PPG Regional, he's had a ton of success with Sky Striker. I know Ryan Yu in the past has had success with Sky Striker. The deck has 3 Widow Anchor, and I think that's why the deck is so strong. The deck is literally able to, you know, just do what it always does. Widow Anchor you away, OTK you with, you know, your own monsters. They can play the Mystic Mine game, which is crazy. Like, you know, Mystic Mine is still a card. Can't complain about it. It's a card in the game. I'm done complaining about it. Like, it's been here long enough. It's just a card in the game. It's just accepted. It's accepted like the game state. Accepted. Mystic Mine is very strong in that deck. And, you know, Hayate Gobert, like Kagari at 3 Widow Anchor. You know, the deck can still do a lot of crazy things. And I've seen builds that are now playing Pot of Prosperity that has added more consistency to the deck. Like, that's just crazy. It means that the deck can, you know, really just tutor out what it needs, and that's how the deck wins. Like, it can go first, it can go second. Like, I mean, what do I have to say about it? I played against it forever in the Eternal format. I mean, I played against so many Sky Striker players. Like, I couldn't escape. And of course I was playing Colossus, so if I had Colossus on board, things were cool. If I didn't have anything, if I didn't get to Colossus, oh man, it was bad. Let me tell you, it was bad. Like, Engage, I played when Engage was at 3. Like, it was crazy too. So Sky Strikers, even without Engage, they can still do a lot. So I have a lot of like high hopes for that deck. I actually am a fan of that deck myself. It's just not really my cup of tea for a deck to play, but I really do like it. I like what Brian's doing with the deck. I like what Bill Way's doing with the deck. And I just want to see more players play it because I think the deck's just awesome. But yeah, Sky Striker's coming in at number 2. And coming in at number 1, I have Madolche. So I didn't preference this, but this is not really like super order. Like, I don't think Madolche's is better, is you know, infinitely better than Earth Machines, or Sky Striker's better than everything else. Like, this was just a list I compiled. But I have Madolche's. You guys already know, ever since I forgot Madolche's, I literally had to put them back on there. And yeah, the deck is crazy. The deck goes second, OTKs you. The deck goes first and sets up a board that is actually quite crazy. They can D-shifter you. I'm still traumatized from getting D-shiftered Game 1 and Game 2 by Madolche and losing literally right there because I couldn't play through the D-shifter. It was insane. Like, it was absolutely insane. And just them being able to play under shifter is like ridiculous. Like, what? Like, that shouldn't work. But guess what? Hootcake can banish the D-shifter and yo, they can play. So, mad respect to Madolche players. I know they can do a lot. The new cards they got over time are crazy. So I definitely have respect for that deck. And those are the top 5 decks. I have a couple honorable mentions. I do like Cyber Dragons, all the trap decks, you know, just I'm not going to really mention them that much, but Cyber Dragons is a deck I have my eye on. One of my Patreons actually played me with the deck and really just opened my eyes to just, you know, how strong that deck is. Again, I think the deck just needs more players to play it. I know my boy Yassine is big on it. I know my boy Josh is big on it. I know there's players that are going to play that deck, so I definitely want to see more of what, you know, a deck like that will do in the format. But yeah, that is it, you guys. Short and sweet and to the point. In my opinion, those are the top 5 best rogue decks you can play this format. It's just giving you options. Like, there's so many more rogue decks. Like, sometimes ask myself, how the hell have I learned to compile it down to 5? And, you know, it is kind of hard to get there. Honestly, I could probably name 10, 15 decks that you could play. Like, I've played rogue decks. Like, people have seen me play rogue decks. And, you know, it's hard to compile it down to a top 5. But I thought I was going to forget. What's the best rogue deck of the format? Do you even have to ask? Pure Mech Knights, baby. Best rogue deck 2021. Alright, you guys, really, that's the list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys. I think it's just cool, like, you know, going over like the top 5. And it's just to give you guys options because, yes, I'll play meta decks, but, you know, I actually really like rogue decks. I think I've become more of a rogue deck player over the years, and it's really fun to actually just try to crack the format with meta decks because it proves that you don't have to play the quote-unquote best deck to have success. You can play what deck you want, add text to it, and you can have success. So I think it's awesome. But that's everything for today, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.